Dean Graziosi has a legacy mastermind, and as part of that mastermind, I get to meet him in person events, and I recently got a one-on-one hot seat with him, where he gave me this exact next steps I do need to do to scale my business by 10x and beyond. And his advice is more for people around my business size, so I'd say high six figures, trying to 10x that. But I think this is really applicable to anyone trying to grow their business because the steps are pretty generalizable and they apply to most people. So, without further ado, let's go into the steps he talked about. So the problem I went to Dean Graziosi facing was that I essentially had too many students and not the capacity to take care of all of them. And that was causing a problem in my business. And essentially, he visualized it and drew it out for me in the following way. He said that currently, the capacity I have for taking students is about this big, and the amount of enrollment I have is higher. And because of this, I had to turn away students, right? I was turning away all of these students. And this obviously didn't feel great to me because, first of all, these are a bunch of people who I could help them, but I just don't have the time and resources to help to do so. And the second thing is all of this revenue is also revenue that I'm losing. And so this doesn't help me, it doesn't help my students, it doesn't really help anyone. And so what he wanted me to do was, the first thing is increase your capacity, he told me. And then you can increase your enrollment to match that capacity and keep repeating. So he told me that when these two boxes are imbalanced, that's what causes a problem. So you got to keep increasing one, then the other, and then keep going back and forth. And to me, it sort of seemed like a never-ending thing, right? Because let's say the two boxes are this big, and then you increase this one, then you have to increase this one, and then this. But this is essentially how growth happens. You keep increasing the boxes up and up and up, and you keep taking more and more students, and you keep making more and more revenue, and that's how growth essentially happens. So this is a method that seems to work for me. So here's essentially how he told me to do it. The first part is increasing my capacity, and to do that, I need to hire and train enough coaches that I'd be able to reasonably increase my revenue. So, since working with him, I have hired 2 coaches. And what has this done for me? Well, originally, my capacity was about 80 to 100 students. Now, with those 2 additional coaches, my total capacity is about 300 to 400 students. And actually, I'm going to use the word clients just because that's more generalizable to more markets. And I don't want this to feel like it's just for my market. And the reason I'm not sure where exactly within 300 to 400 is, I'll get a better idea of this as my number of students starts to approach this number here. So now, my total capacity has 4x. I can now take, or as I say, 3 to 4x, right? I can now take 3 to 4 times the amount of students I could have originally taken. And that in itself is great for my business. Because now, at the very least, these students that I have here, I can take them on. I now have more capacity for all these students who want to work with me, who I just don't have the resources for. And keep in mind, I don't really do any paid advertising. In fact, I don't do any paid advertising at all. These students come to me from organic methods, mainly referrals. Some of it's Google SEO, some of it's my YouTube channel. So all of these people are just coming to me through free methods. I'm not paying for them. I'm not trying to get these people. And it felt bad to turn them away. So now, at the very least, I can take these students and increase my revenue in that method. He also told me to hire a client success manager. Now, this, to be honest, I haven't done yet. But the reason I haven't done this yet is because I have 2 coaches who can take this many clients, and I've not currently increased my total number of clients to close to this amount, which means that my coaches have time. And so currently they are the client success manager for the students that they manage. Just because now that my capacity is so much higher than my enrollment, my employees sort of just have less work to do. And it's my job to increase this enrollment. And when they do, they will have a sufficient amount of work, right? Again, it's sort of how Dean talked about is you increase one, then the other. And when they're imbalanced, you obviously have a problem, but you solve that problem and then you keep growing. And so that's my plan, right? And the next thing is to increase enrollment until it comes all the way up here. And then I have to turn away these students, and I'm going to increase my capacity. And I'm going to keep going and keep going and keep going. A client success manager, it's on the books for something to do in the future, but it's not something I need right now because I have coaches who are able to take that responsibility. Okay, so the next thing is increasing my enrollment. So previously, the number of students who kind of wanted to enroll with me was 120. 120, and this is again per year, right? About 120 per year who wanted to enroll with me. And it's hard to know the exact number just because I'm turning them away. I'm sort of extrapolating based on the dates. 120 is on the conservative side. It could be all the way up to 160. So between that range of students. And so now I have to get this number up to 400 plus. So I need to add an additional 280 students, because 120 plus 280 is 400. And you might be asking, why am I going for 400 and not for 300? And the reason is, if I overshoot this capacity, that's okay. I'll just hire more coaches and a client success manager and the right team there. Maybe a manager for that team. I'd hire the right team there to increase my capacity again. But right now, I'm focusing on increasing my enrollment. So I need to 2 to 3x my enrollment so that I have the proper enrollment to match the capacity that I have. And then I will keep repeating the process. But the good thing is that I currently know how to increase my enrollment, right? All this marketing that I've learned here, it's a similar skill to learn here. And I'll post another video once I increase my enrollment and 2 to 3x that. But as you can tell, when I apply all of these things together, my business is going to shoot up 3 to 4x just by the first step of increasing both of these. I do it again, another 3 to 4x. The two things combine, and that's 10x scale to my business. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing how this goes, to keep increasing both parts of my business and keep scaling. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button down below, hit that like button, and I'll see you next video later. Bye.